give you guys a couple of seconds to come on in. I hope the volume is okay. I hope it's not too much of an echo. Man, we're gonna go in today. We're gonna go in today. It's gonna be kind of heavy. It's gonna be kind of deep. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm gonna adjust my shirt. So not my shirt, my camera. I'm tripping. I got my Warriors tank top on. Man, we're gonna go in today, family. We're gonna go in. Excuse me as I get set up. What's up, babe? What's up, what's up? Man, we're gonna go in today, family. We're gonna go in. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to get set up, get ready. Man, let me know if the volume's okay. I think, to me, I hear an echo, but I don't know how it's coming across to you guys. Man, hopefully it's coming in clear. I'm nervous, man. Man, pray for me. I'm nervous. What's up, Jose? Hey, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Man, for all of you that are here, what's up, Laura? Man, I bless you guys. Man, may God bless you. What's up, Donna? May God bless you. May God keep you and comfort you. May He give you that peace that passes all understanding. May He bring joy and fulfillment into your life. That being said, man, family, pray for me. Pray for me. I don't know why I'm nervous. I just got nervous as I got set up. I knew what I was going to talk about, but I wasn't nervous until I got everything set up and I hit the go live button, and man, I'm nervous now. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? I have so many people asking me, man, how do you stay positive? How do you, man, I'm going through hell. It's hard. Man, you wouldn't understand the crap that I'm going through right now, Elijah. Man, I'm broken. Man, it's hurt. I'm in pain. Man, I'm catching hell every which way. You know what I mean? Man, how do you stay positive? How do you keep moving? You know what I mean? How do you make it out of that darkness? You know what I mean? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Paying the price. Man, paying the price. You know, yesterday I made a video and I talked about some of the things that Abraham Lincoln went through, you know, and so many of us don't know our history, you know, and we don't know the trials and tribulations that he endured before he even became president, you know. And so often we look at people and we see the end result of them and we think, man, you know, man, life has been easy for them. What's up, Big Sky? You know, life has been easy for them. You know, man, they've always had it made. Man, they didn't catch hell like I got hell. Man, they didn't have the struggles that I had. You know what I mean? And we don't understand each other's journey. You know, we don't know the hell that each other has gone through. And so we're so quick to judge people. We're so quick to look at somebody and say, man, you're 45 years old, you're 30 years old, you're 25 years old, you're 50 years old. You should be so much better than this. You should be so much further along on your journey than this. And we have all this crap to say, not knowing the obstacles that they've overcome, not knowing the hell that they've gone through. And instead of criticizing them and blasting them for where we think they should be at, man, if we shut the hell up and just ask them their story, if we shut the hell up and stop being so self-righteous and judgmental and got with them and just opened up and just allowed them to express where they came from and the obstacles that they've overcome, man, instead of us sitting there judging them and criticizing them, man, we'll be patting them on their back. Instead of us judging and criticizing, man, we would become their greatest cheerleader. Because we would understand, dang, I'm tripping. Man, I was ready to judge you and condemn you for not having a house at 45 years old, not having this and not having this. Man, but when I hear where you came from, man, I'm surprised you're not locked up in the penitentiary somewhere. Man, I'm surprised you're not, you know, on the street somewhere, lost your mind, you know what I mean? I'm surprised you're not on dope somewhere, you know what I mean? And so often, man, we're quick to judge somebody, because we see them in their dark space. We see them going through their trials and tribulations, not understanding all the hell they've gone through just to get to where they're at. And we're quick to throw people up under the curve. We're quick to bury somebody. And so paying a price. Man, for those of us that are chosen ones, for those of us that know that we have a God-given purpose, man, you're going to have to pay the price. It is what it is. You're going to have to pay the price. You know, I got my Warriors tank top on, man, because, man, they paid the price. They paid the price. And if you're a warrior, man, you got to pay the price. You have to pay the price. You can't come here and be a crybaby. You can't come here and whine and cry about how life ain't fair and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Man, you have to pay the price. You're going to have to man up, woman up, and deal with your issues. You know what I mean? And just get over the fact that, man, life ain't always been easy for you. And so, man, I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of things today. Man, there's Walt Disney. You know, everybody talks about Walt Disney. Oh, he's Illuminati. Man, he was a 33rd degree master mason. We talk all this stuff, but we don't know the hell that this man's gone through. Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere today. We're quick to put people in these little prisons because of our issues, because of our judgment, because of our self-righteousness, because of our arrogance, not understanding the hell that they've gone through. And so when you look at Walt Disney and you look at the struggles that he's gone through, and again, paying the price. When you look at Walt Disney talked about how his childhood was so messed up. Stay with me, because you know, out of your pain comes your greatest gift to humanity. Out of your pain should come your greatest gift to humanity. And so when you look at Walt Disney's life, Walt Disney was raised in a poor family. Walt Disney's father was handicapped, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, to the point where all the kids eventually ran away. Stay with me. And so here it is, you have this young boy who grew up in a very poor family. Father handicapped, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. And Walt Disney's childhood is messed up. His childhood is messed up. And so it's no wonder, man, all he wanted to do was draw cartoons. All he wanted to do was create Disneyland, a place where families can go and have fun. A place where families can be happy and smile and enjoy life. Why? Because that was born out of his pain. That came from his suffering. That came from his hell. That came from the trauma of being raised in an abusive family. That came from the trauma of being in a broken family where everybody was put down and belittled and not having enough. And so it's easy for us to sit back and talk about, man, look at what he did, look at what he has, and he's this, he's that, not knowing, look at how much laughter, look at how much joy, how much hope he's brought to humanity. I don't care what you think about him as a person. That's your issue. That ain't got nothing to do with Walt Disney. Whatever you think of him, that's your issue. That ain't got nothing to do with him. He don't know you exist. He don't give a damn what you think about him. He's dead and gone, but he didn't give a damn what you thought about him. That's your fucking issue. Get over it. Walt Disney, because of all the pain and suffering he went through as a kid, he wanted to create a place so that other kids can go and escape the trauma of their crazy life. He wanted to create a place to where families can smile and be entertained and have fun. Why? Because he didn't experience that as a kid. So the question is, what the fuck are you doing to make life better for other people? What the hell are you doing other than criticizing and judging everybody else because they ain't where you think they should be at? You so quick to put your hand on everybody else's life and criticize what other people are doing, what they ain't doing, how they doing this, how they doing that. What the fuck are you doing? How the hell are you making life better for anyone? And yet, I put on some extra crystals today because I know that's going to piss some people off. I know that's going to trigger some people. And I don't give a damn. That's your fucking issue. That ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me. Your issues, your opinion on me don't have nothing to do with me. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to do what I came here to do, regardless of what you think. And see, that's where we get twisted. That's where we get stuck at. Man, we're trying to please everybody. We're trying to fit in a little box. We want everybody to be like us. Why? Because that takes care of my insecurities. If everybody's like me, if everybody thinks like me, then man, okay, I'm all right. Because I think like the norm. I think like everybody else, and everybody else thinks like me. So I'm okay. I didn't come here to be okay. I didn't come here to be normal. I didn't come here to fit in with the crowd. I don't give a fuck about what the crowd is doing. Because if the crowd is doing that, odds are I'm going the complete opposite fucking direction. I'm gonna say that again. If the crowd is going this way, then I'm going the opposite direction. Why? Because I've learned not to give a fuck about what the crowd thinks, not to give a damn about what the crowd is doing, and to understand that the crowd isn't always doing the right thing. 9 times out of 10, the crowd ain't doing the right thing. Paying the price. It's a lonely walk to pay the price to get to what you came here for. It's a frustrating walk. It's a walk where you're gonna have to turn your back on a whole lot of people. And a whole lot of people that you thought was cool and you thought loved you and cared about you, and what do, they gas you up and blah, 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 blah. And they gas you up as long as you think like them. They gas you up as long as you do what they do. But as soon as you step outside of that box and start thinking for yourself, oh man, they got all kinds of problems with you. Man, they gonna call you the devil. They gonna call you all kinds of crazy shit. Why? Because your independence is threatening to their imprisonment. Your independence is a slap in the face to the prison mentality. When I say prison mentality, I'm talking about whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's social or sexual orientation, or any of the other crap that we use to divide ourselves. Can you pay the price to reach your full potential? The great majority of us, we can't pay the price. Why? Because we're so fixated and scared of what other people think. Because we want to be liked. Because we want to be accepted. And we only want that because we haven't accepted ourselves. We only want the love and the affirmation of others because we haven't learned how to love ourselves. When you really love yourself, you don't give a fuck what they think about you. You know what I mean? For real. When you love yourself and you value yourself, man, you're not trying to go do some stupid shit just because that's what everybody else is doing. Man, it's time to go get me a 9 to 5 and work at a job where I can't fucking stand and work with people I can't fucking stand and do all this other stupid shit. Go get me a fucking 40-year mortgage because that's what everybody else is doing. I ain't got time to be like every fucking body else. I didn't come here to be like every fucking body else. I came to think outside the box. I didn't come here to spend 5 years paying off a fucking car. Just so people could like me and people could like, oh man, look at how he rolling. I didn't come here to get a fucking mortgage and be stuck in that fucking mortgage and miserable as hell going to a fucking job I can't stand just to pay for a fucking mortgage. The house that I live in, the house that I created, the house that's supposed to be my castle, it's now become my fucking prison. Because man, now I gotta go pay for this shit. And so 9 times out of 10, that means I gotta go somewhere I don't wanna fucking go and deal with fucking people I don't wanna deal with. Why? Because I gotta pay this house. Because this house is my identity. This car is my identity. That's how people see me. Man, he got a nice car. Man, he got a nice body. Man, he's all right. He's successful. He's this, and that. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And I don't care where you go. You can go to any hood in America, any hood, any ghetto in America, and you're going to see fucking Mercedes-Benz out in the fucking projects. You're going to see all kind of nice cars in the fucking hood. Why? Because people have this mentality. I remember my grandfather, Every year he was getting a new Cadillac. Every year getting a new Caddy. And why? Because people have this mentality that, man, my car is a reflection of who I am. And so if my car is clean, that's how people are gonna see me. If my car is nice, people are gonna think I'm successful. If my car is nice, man, then I've arrived. If my place is nice, people are gonna think that I've arrived. I'm successful. That don't make you successful because you got a fucking job and a fucking car and a fucking house. That don't make you successful. Learn to think outside of the box. And so again, going back to Walt Disney, man, he went through hell to get to where he was. He went through hell to give you Disneyland because he had a dream. And he didn't give a fuck who agreed with his dream or not. He got fired from multiple jobs. He got fired from being not creative enough. If anybody in the world is creative, Walt Disney was creative. How the fuck does Walt Disney get fired for not being creative enough? The man that gave you Disneyland, the man that gave you Pinocchio and Bambi and Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all these other great cartoons, how the fuck does he get fired for not being creative enough? And it wasn't easy for him. It's never easy for successful people. Successful people catch hell. So when you look at Walt Disney and you look at how he first got started, man, he wrote this cartoon, not Mortimer Mouse. I can't think of the name of the cartoon right off the top of my head right now. He wrote a cartoon, and it got taken from him. It was taken from him. He created this cartoon, and it was taken from him. See, most of us would have gave up right then and there. And then later on, as he was coming back from New York on the train, he had this other cartoon drawn, and he titled it Mortimer Mouse. And his wife told him, man, change the name to Mickey Mouse. And Mickey Mouse is the most noted cartoon throughout history. The most famous cartoon in all of history. Came after he lost a major accomplishment. His first cartoon was just taken from him. Most of us would have gave up. So when you look at Walt Disney, he talked about, man, how he was always depressed. How he was always manic, high and low, high and low, high and low. Why? Because he went through hell. Because he had struggles and all the times he had to file bankrupt. There's a time where he ate canned beans. That's all he could afford was fucking canned beans. Why? Because he was chasing his dreams and he didn't give a fuck what people thought. He didn't care what people said. He didn't care that people told him he was stupid and he was wasting his time and he should go get a job and he should do all this other stupid shit. He wasn't trying to do that. Why? Because he understood his purpose. Because he was driven. He was purpose driven. And so many of us, we succumb to the pressures of life. So many of us, we succumb to the pressures of our parents. So many of us, we succumb to the pressures of everybody around us. So we got to be like them. Even though we know we want more, even though we got dreams and ambitions and goals in life, man, that's not good. Man, you stop living in the fantasy world and coming back down to earth, coming back down to reality. You would be surprised to hear how many people have told me that. And so when you look at Mickey Mouse, man, family, Walt Disney was rejected 300 times. I'm gonna say it again. Mickey Mouse was turned down by 300 different people. 300 different people told him no. 300 different people rejected him. 300 different people told him, man, we ain't trying to hear this shit. How many people have rejected you? See, success is not about everything just going smooth. Success is about, man, you not giving up. And you stand true to what you believe. That's how you succeed. That's when your breakthrough comes. Years ago, I used to sell Amway. And man, I used to get up there and draw all the circles and the boards and all this other stuff and talk to people about their dreams and what they can accomplish and what they would do. Man, I was doing that, right? And what they had told us and what they had taught us, man, you gotta hear no. For every 100 no's you hear, you'll get that one yes. And that one yes is going to do something great. So the purpose is not to hear a bunch of yeses, but to hear 100 no's. Why? Because once you hear 100 no's, you know that, man, your success is right around the corner. Once you hear 100 no's, you know that, man, your breakthrough is coming. See, so often we get stuck in our head and we think, man, I'm going out and I'm gonna do this. I got this great idea and this person told me no, and this person told me no, and this person told me no. Man, it must not be God's will. It must not be in my purpose. It must not be God's plan for me to sing or for me to write or for me to draw or for me to have this business. And we give up. We give up because some people told us no. Man, flip that shit, family. Man, every time they tell you no, man, thank you, namaste, peace. Man, I'm that much closer. Man, every time they reject you, man, thank you, I'm that much closer. Every time the person you think is the love of your life walk out your life, man, thank you, namaste, I'm that much closer. Every time you get your heart broken, man, thank you. Namaste, peace, I'm that much closer. You gotta hear the no's. Just because people tell you no doesn't mean that God has told you no. And see, here's the trick. So many of us, we've elevated people above the status of God. I'm gonna say again, we have put people on this pedestal and we put them above God. God has given us this idea. God has given us this talent. God has given us this purpose to do this, this, and that. And God has told us this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is what you know God told you this. But because you let JoJo and Nika and all these other crazy motherfuckers tell you no and tell you that you can't sing and you can't dance and you can't do this and you can't do this and you suck at this and whoop-de-doo-whoop. This is because you let all these dumbass people that don't have a clue of your purpose and where you're supposed to be going in life. Just because you let these deadbeats tell you no doesn't mean that God has told you no. He's already told you to do it. If God has told you to do it, fuck everybody else. If God has told you to do it, then I don't give a damn who tells me no. Why? Because I got my authority from God. I got my green light from God. That's all I need. That's all I need. And so when you tell me no, when you walk out my life, when you reject me, you just show me that I'm that much closer. You're just getting me that much more excited because I know that my breakthrough is a little more closer. I'm a little bit more closer to my breakthrough. And so we have to learn how to flip it and stop being so and beating ourselves up and getting so stuck on the woe is me and they don't like me and they don't care about me and man, they don't want me to succeed and man, damn all of that. We ain't got time for that foolishness. We don't have time for that. I ain't got time for a pity party. We don't have time for the whining and crying. Man, my kids used to come and they would, Daddy. Man, I just do like this, man. I'm not trying to hear it. Man, there was a song that came out. I think it was Justin Timberlake that came out with this song years ago. Cry Me a River. Cry me a river. And man, that's what I would sing to my kids. Every time they came in with, man, something didn't go right or something's messed up. Man, cry me a river. Cry me. I don't give a fuck. I want to know how you're going to respond to it. I don't give a fuck what happened. How are you going to handle it? Are you going to sit here and pout and cry and become a fucking victim? Or are you going to man the fuck up and be encouraged and encourage yourself? Or are you going to sit there and tear yourself down? Man, I must be ugly. I must not be talented. I must not be this. I must not, man, no. No, that's not what we came here for. That's not why we came here. Man, the hell up. Woman, the hell up. Grow up. Grow up. You gotta hear these no's. You gotta have these people reject you. It is what it is. I was talking to my queen earlier today, and she mentioned something about a bamboo. And I was like, oh, man, I ain't talked about this in a minute. And I knew I was gonna talk about Walt Disney. And I was like, oh, thank you, babe, because that ties in to exactly what I wanna talk about. And so when you look at the bamboo plant, man, you plant a bamboo seed. It takes it 5 years. 5 years for the Chinese bamboo for it to break through the ground. 5 years of watering it, making sure it got the right amount of sunlight. 5 years. 5 years. And in that 5th year, within a matter of months, that tree, once it breaks through the ground, I believe it's 3 months, it sprouts up over 6 feet tall. And then it just keeps growing and growing and growing. But see, the trick is, man, we plant something, we have an idea, man, grand idea, great idea, but because we don't see the results that we want to see as fast as we want to see it, we give up on it. Because we don't see the results that we expect, just because we don't blow up overnight, we don't blow up in a month, we don't blow up in a year like we think we should, man, we give up on our dreams because we didn't blow up the way we thought we would, because we don't get the praise and the affirmations and the love that we thought we should get. Man, we get frustrated and we want to sit there and pout and cry and be a victim. When God is saying, man, be like the bamboo. Be like bamboo. Man, why? Because in those 5 years, man, although the world can't see what you're going through, although the world don't even know anything's there, the world can't see who you are. Man, the seed is cracked open, and under the ground, the roots are growing, the roots are spreading, and they're going deeper and deeper and wider and wider. Why? Because once that bamboo sprouts through the ground, it's gonna take off. But the roots gotta be deep enough. The roots gotta be spread out far enough. Why? To sustain it. So as soon as it cracks through the ground and sprouts up and it reaches into the sky, man, it ain't going nowhere. No matter how much the wind blows, that bamboo may bend and go back and forth, but it's rooted. It ain't going nowhere. It's not been uprooted. Why? Because the roots have gone deep. The roots have been spread wide. And so, man, you got to understand that just because God is giving you a purpose, because God is giving you a dream and a goal and a business plan, don't expect to just blow up overnight. Man, understand you got to put in the work. And putting in the work is doing your research. Putting in the work is studying. Putting in the work is making sure you're in alignment with God. Putting in the work is making sure you understand the business plan, making sure you understand the financial aspects of it, and all the other stuff. All the stuff that people can't see. That's you spreading your roots. So that once you sprout up, man, nothing can knock you down. Why? Because you've been rooted. You watch some people and you watch some entertainers, man, they're one-hit wonders. You watch some entertainers, they come out with a song, they come out with an album, and they blow up. And next thing you see, man, they strung out on dope. Next thing you see, man, they're in trouble with the law because they doing stupid stuff. Man, they still trying to be thugs. And so they end up serving time in the penitentiary, losing their career. Or they end up going to the pen. Why? For rape and for all these other stupid crap. Why? Because they didn't put in the work. They wasn't ready for the fame. They wasn't ready for the lights. They wasn't ready for the attention they got. And so as chosen ones, as warriors, man, our roots got to go deep. Our roots got to be spread wide. So that when we're elevated, we can't be knocked over. So that when we're elevated, man, we can stand the test of time. And so when you look at Walt Disney and you look at what he went through, man, all those years of failures, all those years of, man, coming up with movies after movies after movies, and there have been disasters at the box office. And people laughing at him and mocking him. And you look at all the times he had nervous breakdowns. You look at all the times he's had to file bankruptcy. You look at all the times, man, he had to eat just freaking cans of beans because he couldn't afford anything else. He was paying a price. He was paying a price. And so when you look at Disney now, man, Disney owns ESPN. Disney owns all these amusement parks. Disney owns Star Wars. Disney owns so much. Why? Because this man paid the price. Because one man paid the price. One man stood up against the world, and even though they laughed at him, even though they told him Mickey Mouse wouldn't accomplish shit, we ain't wasting our time. We're not investing in that. That's nothing to us. That one man paid the price. And because he paid the price, man, there's Disney parks all over. Because one man paid the price, look how many people have employment. Look how many people have been blessed because of him. Look how many people all over the world have been entertained by him. Look how many kids have gone to these parks. Look how many adults have gone to this park. And they've gotten connection with their child, that inner child within them. Because one man paid the price. He didn't give a damn what society was saying. He was willing to chase his dreams. He was willing to pay the price, whatever it was. He was willing to pay the price. And so my question to you today, are you willing to pay the price? See, everybody talk about they're willing to pay the price, and most people are willing to pay the price, as long as it don't cost them anything. Most people are willing to pay the price, as long as it doesn't make them too uncomfortable. Most people are willing to pay the price, as long as people don't reject them and walk out of their lives, as long as they're not publicly humiliated. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to say, man, come hell or high water, here I am. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I don't care who like it. I don't care who love it. I'm here for a purpose. I'm gonna do what I came here to do. And until you get that in your mind, until you get that in your spirit, until you get that and that becomes the fiber of your being, man, you can be like the waves, just going back and forth, like a leaf just flowing in the wind, just been tossed around, not accomplishing shit, just wasting time. And when you look at the great majority of humanity, that's how they live. See, we've forgotten who we are. And so now we've lowered our standards so much To where now it's not about you chasing your dreams. It's not about you reaching your full potential. That's not what makes you a success now. What makes you a success to us now is, man, what kind of car do you have? Oh, where do you live in? What's your address? How much money you have in your bank account? And although those things are nice, don't get me wrong, that should be the end result of you reaching your dreams, of you fulfilling your dreams. Don't settle. Don't become a prisoner just to get those things. Don't become enslaved just to get those things, to look like you've become successful, to appear to others that you got it all together. And that's how the great majority of us live. We're trying to impress other people. We're trying to look like we're good. We're trying to look like we're happy. We're trying to look like we got this all figured out. And so we talk the talk, and it sounds good, but it's empty words. It's empty words. Why are they empty words? Because on the inside we're frustrated. They're empty words and shallow words because on the inside we're broken. On the inside we're frustrated. On the inside we're empty. Because we know we should be doing more, but we're too afraid. We know we should be doing something else, but we're intimidated. We're scared. We're scared of failing. We're scared of being ostracized. We're scared of being different. What is my mom gonna say? What is my dad gonna say? Man, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to go against everybody if that's what it takes? Are you willing to let go of your religious beliefs? Are you willing to let go of your political beliefs? If that's what it takes. And you know, it's crazy because as a kid growing up, man, they would always tell us in church, man, all these entertainers, man, they sold their soul to the devil, and that's how they're successful. And what do? This part about to piss some of you off, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? I hear all these people, all these ignorant ass people, and that's ignorant, talk about all these celebrities, all these entertainers who have sold their soul to the devil to get to where they're at. And the trip is, you've sold your soul too. You just don't fucking know it yet. You're completely oblivious of the fact that you've sold your soul to a fucking job you can't stand, to a fucking workplace you hate being at. You're miserable as fuck at this job, but they pay you good. You're miserable as hell on this job, but man, you need the benefits. You're miserable as hell on this job, but man, it pays my rent. It pays my mortgage. You're miserable as hell on this job, but man, it puts food on the table. You've sold your fucking soul. You're just not getting paid like the celebrities are getting paid. They're making millions and you're making pennies. And you're more miserable, more frustrated than they are. And yet you have the audacity to talk about how they're demonic. Yet you have the audacity to talk about how they're devil worshipers. Yet you have the audacity to talk about how they sold their soul and they're unhappy and what they do. And the great majority of Christians that I know all across America, I don't care how much they fake the funk, they're empty on the inside. I don't care how much they fake the funk, they're miserable, they're broken, they're frustrated. Go to church, shouting on Sunday, worshiping an almighty God on Sunday, And on Monday, they're broken. On Monday, they're miserable. On Monday, they're suicidal. On Monday, they're ready to go to war. Because somebody took their fucking parking spot. Because somebody disrespected them at work. Because their boss looked at them sideways. You sold your soul too. You just don't know it. Because of your self-righteousness. Because of your arrogance. Because of your ignorance. And so there's so many people in religion that has this stupid mentality that, man, being poor and broke is a great thing. It's a pious thing. It's a godly thing to be broken financially like this. It's a godly thing to be destitute like this, to be living from paycheck to paycheck. And anybody that's successful financially, we look at them as, oh man, they must have sold their soul. And man, they doing all this crazy stuff and God's not in that and all this other stupid shit. And so, we glorified being financially broke. We've glorified being destitute. We've glorified being single. God is my husband. Jesus is my husband. Jesus is the only man I need. No, the fuck he ain't. He don't want to be your fucking man. He didn't come here to be your fucking man. That ain't nowhere in the fucking Bible. But because we want to glorify the fact that don't nobody want us. We want to sit there in our self-righteous, arrogance, pious way, looking down on everybody else. They out there fornicating. They out there shacking up. They out there doing whoop-de-whoop-de. You just mad and low-key hating and using your religious dogma to justify the fact that don't nobody want your raggedy ass. And so you low-key mad at everybody else. And so you want to sit there and talk about Jesus is the husband and he keeps you and he tweets down. Do you? Do you? That's not the life that I came here for. That's not the life that I came here for. Jesus ain't never said nowhere in the Bible that I want to be your husband. Jesus ain't nowhere in the Bible said that I'm going to be your husband and I'm going to keep you for the rest of your life. I'm going to satisfy all your needs because Jesus ain't getting in bed with your ass and holding you. Jesus ain't getting in bed and doing a little licky and a little sticky. Jesus ain't doing none of that shit with your ass. And the reality is we all need to be held. We all need attention. We all need to be loved. And so although you sit there and you want to talk all sanctified and Holy Ghost filled and water baptized and all this other bullshit, we still talking about paying the price. You want to talk all this shit, all this ignorant shit. And that's nowhere in the scriptures. That's nowhere in the scriptures. The truth is, you have some unresolved issues. The truth is, you have some stuff that you're still holding on to that you won't let go of. And because you won't let go of it, you won't allow somebody else to come into your life. Because we don't want to think like you. Because we ain't trying to spend 7 days in a fucking church somewhere. Or come to church 5 days out of it. We ain't trying to do all that bullshit. And because we ain't trying to go, oh, you ain't godly. No, motherfucker, I got a life. God put some stuff in me to give birth to, into humanity. Not sit in some fucking building praying and crying to him all fucking day. Ain't nothing wrong with praying. Ain't nothing wrong with going to church if that's what you want to do. But don't be so fucking self-righteous and religious. That's all you do. And you're no fucking good to humanity. We all have a purpose. There's some things that every one of us are supposed to fulfill. And I trip out on hearing all these women talking about, man, the greatest thing I did and my greatest legacy is my kids. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, you raised your kids and that's all you got? If that's all you had, God would have took your ass. He would have killed you. As soon as your kids got raised. You have a purpose. Your purpose wasn't just to give birth to some snotty-nosed fucking kids and raise them. The fact that you're still alive and your kids are grown. That simple fact should be proof enough to you that God has so much more for you to do. And if all you're doing is, I raised my kids, now I'm sitting back in fucking retirement mode, not doing shit, not accomplishing shit, then you ain't really pursuing your goals. You ain't really reaching your full potential. You ain't really paying the price. You ain't paying the price. If you have empty nest syndrome, because you don't raise your kids and they don't need your ass no more, and all they need you to do is just pay the bills because they're teenagers now and they got the shit all figured out. They fucking know everything like teenagers do, man. And you got that empty nest syndrome because they don't want to hang out with your ass, or because they're grown and they got somebody else they want to kick it with, and now you feeling left out. You feeling like you've been betrayed. And I've heard freaking dumbass women say that shit. That their kids have betrayed them because they done ran off with this dude. They done ran off with this girl. That's what the fuck they supposed to do. Why the fuck they want to stay with your old ass? Get you a fucking life. Get you some damn business. Get you your fucking purpose. And your purpose is not to be all up in their fucking business. Monitoring everything they fucking doing on social media. Paying a price. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to humble yourself and acknowledge the fact that, man, I've had some twisted thinking about some things. Man, my thought process it was kind of warped on some things. Man, I missed the boat on a couple of things. Man, you know, Morgan Freeman, I love his movies. And they said that Morgan Freeman didn't start acting or really get into acting, make it big until he was like in his 60s. Until he was in his 60s. Let that sink in for a second. Until he was in his 60s. If you're under 60 years old, what the fuck are you doing? If you're under 60 years old, why the fuck are you giving up? If you're 60 and over, why the fuck have you given up? You're still here. The fact that you're still here says that God's not ready to take your ass home yet. He ain't ready to take your ass home yet because there's some work you're supposed to be doing. And that work does not consist of you just sitting on your fucking ass, staring out your fucking windows and condemning everybody else and judging everybody else. I've said this a lot, man. The late, great Dr. Miles Monroe said, the wealthiest place it's not Fort Knox. It's not Fort Knox at all. It's not any banks. The wealthiest place in all the world are the graveyards. The graveyards of all the dreams, all the goals, all the businesses, all the songs, all the painting, all the artwork, all the things, the cures, the scientific cures, all the things that could have, that should have been birthed into the world, that should have been given to humanity. But for whatever reason, these people died carrying these goals. These people died carrying these dreams. These people died never having given birth to what they came here to give birth to. And you think you happy and you think you cool because you gave birth to 5 raggedy ass kids. No. know it's so much more than that. There's so much more than that. What are you supposed to give birth to? And so again, we're going back to meditating. How can you know what you're supposed to be giving birth to? How can you know your purpose? How can you know what you're supposed to be doing in your life? Man, meditate. Meditate. The only way to get that answer is by talking to God. It's by meditating and getting in alignment with God. Again, the late Dr. Miles Monroe said, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. I'm going to say it again. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. What does that mean? That means that when you don't know the purpose of a thing, you're going to abuse it. When you don't know the purpose of kids, you abuse them. When you don't know the purpose of a woman, you abuse her. When you don't know the purpose of your king, you abuse them. When you don't know the purpose of finances, you abuse them. When you don't know the purpose of your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, you abuse them. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Family, man, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to get up off your butt and get going on why you came here? Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone? Are you willing to face your fears and your insecurities? Are you willing to stand up against your parents and chase your dreams? Are you willing to be able to have to turn your back on your family if that's what it takes in order to chase your dreams? And see, so many of us, we won't leave our families at all. We'll never reach what we're capable of being. We'll never fulfill our purpose. Why? Because we're stuck in our comfort zone. We're stuck with our raggedy, ratchet ass family. And ain't none of them doing anything positive. Ain't none of them doing righteous. Ain't none of them doing anything worthwhile. And we stay stuck hanging out with them. We stay stuck turning up with them. And when you decide that you want more, and you leave your family to go pursue more, to go chase your dreams, so often your family will come at you. So often your family will turn their back on you and talk about how you think you all that and you uppity ass and woo-doo-doo, and they'll demonize you and ostracize you and all this. Man, I don't give a fuck. Man, my family say whatever the fuck they want to say. I don't give a fuck. I didn't come here for them. I didn't come here to make them happy. Are you willing to reach your dreams? Are you willing to chase your goals? You talk all this stuff about God. You talk all this stuff about God. But God has put a talent, a gift in every one of us. Some of us have more than one gift. But every person has a talent. And when I mean talent, God has put a purpose in every single one of us. What is your talent? What is your gift? And that gift is to be used for the betterment of humanity. And again, going back to I can't think of the guy's name, Walt Disney. Out of his pain, out of his trauma, out of his suffering came Disneyland, came Disney World. Out of his suffering, out of his trauma came Mickey Mouse, came Donald Duck, and all these other great cartoons. Out of his pain. Because he didn't have the childhood that he wanted. because he didn't have the family that he wanted, because he wasn't raised in the environment that he wanted to be raised in. And so his goal was to see other people happy. His goal was to bring a smile to other people. His goal was to bring pleasure to the world. I don't give a fuck what you say about him. His goal, from being broken and being destitute and all the shit that he's gone through, his goal, his purpose was to bring pleasure to the world. A place where people can escape. A place where people can go and just let down their hair and have fun. A place where they can sit there and just watch movies and be entertained. And smile. How are you using your pain? How are you using your trauma and the drama and the hell you've gone through? Understand that that pain and that suffering was given to you for a purpose. It's for a purpose. And that purpose was not to imprison you. That purpose wasn't to keep you trapped in your hellish thought process. That purpose wasn't to keep you trapped in your suicidal thoughts and depression and anger and animosity and unforgiveness. That trauma, that pain was given to you so that you could learn how to use it and flip it and bring joy, bring love, bring healing to others. I talk about my story a lot. I talk about my childhood being traumatic, watching my dad murder my mom at 2, being molested at 6, and I talk about all of that. Why? Because I want you to understand that's why I'm passionate the way that I am. That's why I get on these videos and I go in the way that I do. Why? Because I want you to understand that you ain't got to stay there. I want you to understand you ain't got to be trapped in the hell that you've gone through. I want you to understand that you can have joy. You can have peace. That you could be a beacon of love. And I don't care where you come from. Man, you can have your queen. You can have your king. You can have all your heart's desires. But the question is, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to go through the hell and grow through the hell so that you can get those things? Are you willing to stay underground for 5 years while God is spreading your roots before he causes you to blow up? Are you willing to go through the hell and the shit that you gotta go through? Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price? See, most people want muscles. They want to look like they're in shape and woo-doo-doo, but they don't want to pay the price. They don't want to pay the price. And that's why you look at, man, you got pills for everything. Oh, you don't want to deal with your depression? Here, take these pills. Oh, you don't want to deal with your anger? Here, take these pills. You don't want to deal with your trauma and all? Man, take these pills. Drink this drink. Smoke this blunt. Chase these hoes. Why? Because we're not willing to pay the price. We're not willing to sit there in our mess. Understand it. Grow through it. We're not willing to pay the price. And so we avoid them. We'll watch stupid TV and stupid reality shows and all this other foolishness because we don't want to deal with our issues. We don't want to deal with our brokenness. We don't want to deal with our trauma because we're not willing to pay the price. We sit there, man, it hurts too much thinking about this. It hurts too much remembering this. It hurts too much thinking about what. Man, not dealing with your shit hurts you so much more. Let me say it again. I could sit here and deal with all of my shit and grow through it. Or I can carry that shit, that baggage with me for the rest of my fucking life and be haunted by that shit for the rest of my life. Or I could spend a little bit of time and go through the dark nights of the soul and go through that brokenness and grow through it. The choice is yours. The choice is yours, and it's yours alone. Man, family, I just wanted to jump on here and just, man, have this heart-to-heart with you guys. This was heavy on my heart, heavy on my mind, heavy on my soul. Man, I pray that whether you're watching this live or whether you watch this video later, that God touches your heart, that God touches your mind, and that he helps you understand that, man, I gotta start paying the price. I have to start paying the price. If I want to be healthier, man, I'll pay the price. I'll eat right. I'll exercise. Man, if I want this, man, I'll pay the price. Whatever it is I gotta do, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price? I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.